They spit, we hit. Is that okay? I think so. They spit, it's a new thing. They spit, we hit. You get out of that car and you can do whatever the hell you want to do. Probably, it's certainly not the biggest, but it's one of the worst. It's brutal. They go after our ICE people, who are great patriots and tough job too, but they love it. They love it because they're cleaning up our country. And so you look at some of the things where they took over parts of Seattle. They actually took over a big percentage of Seattle. Think of that. You remember that. That was a while ago. And I sent in the troops and they were gone. As soon as I sent them in, when we send in the troops, if you have a real leader that says you got to do what you have to do, I put that out the other day. You got to do what you got to do because we don't want our people hurt as they stand by. I was watching during Biden, there were troops standing up like this, brave, standing up at attention, the way I should stand all the time. And I went like this, and people are standing, and their mouth is this far away from their mouth, and they're spitting at them, and they're screaming at them. And that soldier standing there, he wants to knock the hell out of the person, but he's not allowed to do anything. So they just stand there and they get abused. And a woman was this far away from his face, and she starts spitting in his face, and he's not allowed to do anything. If it's okay with you, generals and admirals, I've taken that off. I say, they spit, we hit. Is that okay? I think so. They spit, it's a new thing. They spit, we hit. How about the cars, where the cars are coming out? They get brand new cars, Border Patrol, ICE, beautiful, nice new cars. And they're driving along and they have to go through a gauntlet of rocks being thrown at the car. So here's this beautiful brand new car. By the time it goes 100 yards, it's destroyed. These guys have pretty good arms, some of them. And they're throwing bricks at full force into the window and into the car. It looks like it's a war zone. And I said, never let that happen again. From now on, if that ever happens, and I say it here, you get out of that car and you can do whatever the hell you want to do. Because those people are, you can die from that. Those bricks go through the windows. You can die. They'd like it to. They'd like it to go through the window. But this was a couple of months ago. They just kept driving and bricks are hitting the car. And I said, why aren't they stopping? Because they were under orders from the past administration, never stop. But that's different with us. We stop. And since I gave that order, we haven't had that problem. It's very interesting. It's amazing. Defending the homeland is the military's first and most important priority. That's what it is. Only in recent decades did politicians somehow come to believe that our job is to police the far reaches of Kenya and Somalia, while America is under invasion from within. We're under invasion from within. No different than a foreign enemy, but more difficult in many ways because they don't wear uniforms. At least when they're wearing a uniform, you can take them out. These people don't have uniforms. But we are under invasion from within. We're stopping it very quickly. The Democrats run most of the cities that are in bad shape. We have many cities in great shape, too, by the way. I want you to know that. But it seems that the ones that are run by the radical left Democrats, what they've done to San Francisco, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, they're very unsafe places. And we're going to straighten them out one by one. And this is going to be a major part for some of the people in this room. That's a war, too. It's a war from within. Last month, I signed an executive order to provide training for quick reaction force that can help quell civil disturbances. And this is going to be a big thing for the people in this room because it's the enemy from within, and we have to handle it before it gets out of control. It won't get out of control.
President Trump is getting the silent treatment.
I've never walked into a room so silent before.
The nation's top military brass stood at attention. No applause, no cheers, in fact, no reaction whatsoever.
This is very, don't laugh, you're not allowed to do that. You know what, just have a good time.
As the 800 generals and admirals listened to the commander-in-chief, they sat bolt upright, hands on their laps. Even when he cracked jokes, you could hear a pin drop.
I'm very careful, when I walk downstairs, like I'm on stairs, like these stairs, I walk very slowly. So one thing with Obama, I had zero respect for him as a president, but he would bop down those stairs. I've never said, da-da, 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 bop, bop, bop.
Protocol dictates that you're quiet. You don't say a word, you listen. That's taught at day one as soon as they get into the military, and it's throughout their whole career.
Secretary of War Pete Hegseth also addressed the brass, and his speech is drawing fire today for targeting overweight recruits.
Frankly, it's tiring to look out at combat formations, or really any formation, and see fat troops. Likewise, it's completely unacceptable to see fat generals and admirals in the halls of the Pentagon.
The generals and admirals traveled from every corner of the globe to attend the historic gathering. And the cost, $6 million, is sparking outrage. Could have been an email, as the headline on the liberal Huffington Post.
I think it's a waste of money. It's a waste of time. And do they know the government might be shutting down tonight, and we are paying money to make it a mandatory meeting to hear from Pete Hegseth?
Some found the staging reminiscent of the opening scene from the movie Patton, where the legendary general speaks in front of a giant American flag.
Americans love a winner and will not tolerate a loser.
Thank you.
President Trump did get some satisfaction when he wrapped up his hour-long speech. Some of the generals and admirals broke protocol with polite applause.
Fantastic job. I've never walked into a room so silent before. This is very, don't laugh, you're not allowed to do that. You know what, just have a good time. And if you want to applaud, you applaud. And if you want to do anything you want, you can do anything you want. And if you don't like what I'm saying, you can leave the room. Of course, there goes your rank, there goes your future. But you just feel nice and loose, okay? Because we're all on the same team. And I was told that, sir, you won't hear a murmur in the room. I said, we got to loosen these guys up a little bit. So you just have a good time, but I want to thank...
This photo is going viral on social media, and this is of our military generals and admirals listening to Trump ramble on for hours. But it's the reaction of this one here that has this photo going viral. And it's going viral because this conveys the feeling of pretty much all Americans in this country in response to what Trump had said. No one cheered, only looks of concern. Our military is an apolitical organization, and our generals were so well trained, they really remained composed like this a majority of the time, which had to be very difficult to do considering Trump said war is now a big part of our cities, and that he wants to send the military in to our cities to end the war zones he claims they are in, which, if you're on the ground in any of these, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, Portland, they're certainly not war zones. But these people in these photos in this room are our last line of defense against a fascist authoritarian takeover. So everyone, make your voices heard. Let them know they need to uphold their oath. Comment if you agree. Let them know. Like this, share it, spread the word, follow, subscribe, and I'll see you back here for the 411.
Shalom, Yasharallah. It's your brother Darash Shamath, and I'm back with another lesson. Before I get started, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kodash, and double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone for bringing out this truth, and shalom to the hopeful elect, which includes 144,000, the rest of the elect out there scattered around the world, including those speckled bird Israelites who may look like the other nations but are not, and this is not a black thing. This one goes out to the 12 tribes scattered abroad, because the scripture only written into the nation Israel. So, y'all should have seen the intro videos going into, DJ Trump giving his speech. Okay, DJ Trump is the king of Babylon, in case you didn't know. Okay, and America is modern-day Babylon, okay, through the Spirit, if you can receive it. All right, so we're going to title this one, The King of Babylon Says It's Free Game on You Babylonians. So if you listen to what was talked about in this speech, he basically saying they spit, you hit. All right, so he's giving the military, who was never supposed to be used against the American citizens, a.k.a. the Babylonians, the go-ahead. All right, he's telling them people that there's a war here, okay? And so what does that sound like? It sounds like civil war, all right? So that's in the scriptures, okay? Isaiah chapter 19, all right? So that's coming, all right? And so we'll get a few precepts on that today. And now the generals, they was, doing what they're supposed to do. Even in one of the videos, they put in like an artificial laugh that wasn't even there. All right. Somebody on the comments was just like, yeah, they said that they put that laugh in there because they weren't laughing. I was there, or I was watching it live or something. But anyway, things are picking up. Things are getting real. All right. Let alone, the information about the government shutdown. I have to do another video going into that. But just listen, to what the man is saying. Like, he's telling you what he's trying to do. Okay. He's coming after these cities. All right. He's been talking about going after the Democratic cities. All right. He's already reiterated that. All right. And now he is saying that the military has free game. All right. On the citizens. All right. So things about to get messy. All right. Because, these patriots, they're not going for that. All right. And you best believe some of the generals in there, they're not siding with DJ Trump. There was actually one video where this one general had his hand over his eyes with his head down and like basically in shame just at the stuff that DJ Trump was saying. All right. So I hope you caught that in the video too. But prophecy's coming to pass, man. That's what we've been telling y'all. But let's just jump into some scripture real quick. This is Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 2, and it says, I will set over the Egyptians. I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. All right? And so the Egyptians in this context, through the Spirit, modern day, is talking about the Americans, okay? All right? Against the Egyptians. And they shall fight everyone against his neighbor, okay? Civil war, that's what's coming. The division is being created, the tension is being built up, and is spearheaded by the king of Babylon, okay? Right now. And everyone against his neighbor, and city against city, and kingdom against kingdom, okay? So overall, the Edomites, they're divided, okay? A kingdom divided against itself cannot stand. So this is the downfall of this empire. All right. He says, yeah, we've been so worried about, wars everywhere else, because that's in the Edomite spirit. They've been policing the world. They've been given dominion over the world. OK, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Job 9 and 24. OK, and according to Malachi 1 and 4, the Edomites are the wicked. All right. They are the border of wickedness. All right. As the scriptures say. But if you go back to Genesis, it talks about the Edomites being, a vagabond. Okay, so they're just roaming the earth, but they haven't been getting punished for the crimes that they've committed. But their judgment is quickly approaching. They're the people of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai's curse. All right, and so they're going to get that ultimate judgment. All right, and eventually Obadiah 1 and 18 is going to come to pass for them. Okay, and it says, "And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst." All right, so this place cannot be healed. All right, they talk about, make America great again, aka make Babylon great again, which is really just make it white again, white supremacy. That's the premise of all of this. That's what they're trying to establish, but that's never going to happen. It's not going to come to pass. All right. And it says, I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to idols. Okay, so all these wicked spirits that they be calling on, even JC. Okay. The letter J was invented in 1524. Okay, so there's no Jesus. All right, that's just their whitewashed, image. Okay, because they covered the faces of the judges thereof. Okay, they opened the book of the law and they painted over the image. They paint the likeness of their images. Okay, all of that's in the scripture. That's what these people did. It says, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. Okay, so they go, try to go about their usual means on the left-hand side, trying to, get an answer, get a response, but they're not gonna, there's no way out of this. Okay, so the judgment that's coming on these people, upon these Babylonians, upon these Edomites, guess what? It can't be avoided. They shall not be able to remove their necks from this. We could get a precept on that too. But verse 4, and the Egyptians will I give over unto the hand of a cruel Lord, which is the king of Babylon, DJ Trump, and a fierce king shall rule over them. Okay, saith the Lord, Yahweh of hosts. Okay, and so prophecy must come to pass. Prophecy is unavoidable. Okay, you cannot change prophecy. Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai has spoken, and he is not a man that he should lie. So it has to come to pass. All right, so let me see. I think that is Habakkuk. No, it's not Habakkuk. Maybe that was I think maybe it's Micah. Micah. Yeah, it's Micah. This is Micah chapter 2 and verse 3. It said, therefore, thus said Yahweh, behold, against this family, speaking of the Edomites, because that's the family, okay, do I devise an evil, okay, from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go heartily, for the time is evil. So the Edomites are known for their pride, okay? They're very prideful people, all right? And especially, Babylon and then those Amalekites over there, but they can't avoid this judgment, okay? And you saw what DJ Trump was talking about, but there's a war here. He's like, we've been over there policing the world because, they just been taking resources and everything from everybody else, oppressing everybody else. That's what they've been doing. But now they're about to, turn it on the American citizens so they could establish their new world order. They're trying to get in order. You see the digital currency and stuff. All of that's moving, okay? That digital, what do you call it? Digital ID that's happening in the UK. You got Vietnam seizing people's bank accounts. Okay, you got the, digital ID already going in Australia now. And then there's talks about Jamaica that's coming too. So it's moving, man. Like prophecy is speaking, right? It's not a game. Now, let's get another precept from 2nd Ezra. Let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 10, and it says, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. Okay, the Israelites, that's the people of the Heavenly Father. And most of our people, they're following after these Edomites. They just don't understand, man. Like, you never trust thine enemy. So as iron rusted, so does his wickedness, okay? I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Babylon. So he's going to take his people out of here. He's going to take his elect out in the land of Egypt, Salakia. But Egypt, modern day Babylon, it's all one and the same. It's America. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. So if you think back in the Old Testament, when Moses was on the scene, the Yahweh Shem Shai, he struck Egypt with plagues. Okay, so this place, this America, is about to get hit with some stuff. All right, it's coming, man. And then that ultimate plague, that thermonuclear destruction, is going to wrap it all up with the lasers from the chariots. All right. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten, and the plague and punishment that power shall bring upon it. So Yahweh is doing this. So it's unavoidable. Okay, Babylon cannot be healed, as the things say. So you Edomites are in charge. So you're responsible for the culture that's been set here. So y'all started all this. Y'all allowed all of this. Okay, y'all allowed people to chop their rods off. Y'all allowed women to run free. Y'all allowed these people to run crazy and commit all of these crimes and atrocities. Y'all allowed, oppression of the people of Yahweh by Shem Shai. Y'all allowed that. Now y'all got to pay for it. You can't clean it up now. You can't try to hide your hand from it now. Okay, you made the N-word. Okay, you made him. You put him in the ghettos. You pumped out this all of this, crazy music in this culture. You're behind it because you're the original N-word. Okay, you were in those caves. All right, you were in there, picking fleas out of your crotches and stuff like that. That was you, and you try to hide that. No, that's why you call yourself Caucasian. You can't hide who you are. Okay, Job talks about it. Okay, in the book of Job. Go read the book of Job. All right, Job said, I wouldn't even allow them around my dogs. Okay, because you know what Edomites be doing with dogs. All right. Now, let's go verse 13. And they that till the ground shall mourn. Look at those farmers out there in Nebraska and other places in the Midwest. They ain't happy. All right. For their seeds shall fail through the blasting and hail with a fearful constellation. All right. So plagues will come. All right. Think about what they said, locusts and what do you call that? And when it was in Egypt, for the first captivity, man, this place will get hit even worse. All right. It says, woe to the world. Okay. Talking about the destruction that's coming. And them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. So everybody can feel it. Okay, you see the wacky-tacky Christians out there, they talking about the rapture coming, all kind of stuff, because they feel what's coming. Okay? And they want to escape. They're like, yeah, we got to be getting out of here because stuff getting bad. Nah, man, you ain't getting out of here. You getting destroyed. Right? Because you don't know Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You calling them those idols. Okay? And one people shall stand to fight against another. Okay? And swords in their hands. All right? So it's going to be race wars. It's going to be wars on political stuff. It's going to be Edomite versus Edomite. It's going to be all kind of stuff, man. All right? And then not even just here, we got, the workings, making up for World War III, which has been going on for a while too. So all of this stuff has got to come to pass before the end. All right? And it says, for there shall be sedition among men. So they're not going to be want to listen to their leaders. All right? They're going to be like, man, forget what you say. All right? And invading one another, they shall not regard their king nor princes. So they ain't going to be listening to these politicians. Okay? The course of their actions shall stand in their power. So if they got the strength to do it, they go do it. All right? And they running up in people's houses, jump out boys, snatching women, children, even men. All right? Taking everything you got. Okay? And then doing unspeakable things to you and your family. All right? We're coming in that time. It's going to be like purge-like level stuff. All right? Nationwide. It's about to get real. All right? A man shall desire to go in the city and shall not be able. Okay? Because the city's going to be troubled. All right? You see, he's sending troops into the cities. City's going to be locked down. Okay? You might not even want to be in the city because it's going to be so bad. All right? City got too many condensed people. Okay? Too many women, all comfortable. Okay? Like sitting ducks. Don't think they need a man. All right? That feminine spirit about to go away with the quickness. All right? When this stuff pop off. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and their houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. All right? It'd be the time of Jacob's trouble. Okay? Jeremiah 30, verse 5 through 7. Go read that. All right? Man is in travail like a woman in birth pains, basically. All right? So that's just how scared growing men going to be. So imagine how women are going to be, during that time. All right? It's going to be bad, man. And pride coming before a fall, man. And pride wasn't made for man. So let that go. All right? Hearken to you, Jake, out there. Esau, he stuck with his pride. That's on him. All right? It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and for great tribulation. So they coming in your house. They going to take what you got, man. Like, that's what it is, man. It's that end of days stuff, some Walking Dead type stuff. That's what's coming. It's going to be bad out here. It's the warning, whether y'all hear or forbear. All right? So, King of Babylon says it's free game on you Babylonians, man. All right? He about to move, man. He trying to, set up the Democrats as the opposition. He trying to set up all the minorities as the opposition. Anybody that disagree with his political ideology, if you're not going with it. You hear what he told the generals, yeah, you ain't got to stay and listen. You can walk out if you want, but you're going to lose everything. All right, so that's how this man coming. All right, so I hope this lesson was edifying. Shalom.